Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive.
Yes, welcome back.
This time we're going to Nepal.
That's right, to the life of Damar Singh Soud, an educator.
We're going to look at excerpts from his autobiography, Inspiration to Transformation, My Educational Odyssey.
Yeah, and it's so cool how his upbringing and his father's influence really, shaped his passion for education.
And his pioneering use of technology in the classroom.
Yeah, that too.
So his father, Kashi Singh Soud, seems like he was so important to Damar's love for education.
It's pretty remarkable when you look at Kashi's story.
He really valued education,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
even working part-time to afford his studies and everything.
Wow.
He earned a Bachelor of Education in Mathematics and then went on to teach in rural Nepal for 36 years.
That's amazing.
What a commitment.
I know, 36 years.
It really makes you wonder what it was like for Damar growing up with him as a father.
Well, actually, Damar talks about this in his book.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, and he says, his teachings not only shaped me as a good person, but also as an authentic individual. Wow.
You can just tell that Kashi instills some really good values in Damar.
Yeah, like a strong work ethic,
Hmm.
honesty, selflessness.
Yeah, all super important for a teacher.
All things that make a great teacher. Right?
Absolutely.
So, let's talk about Damar's experience as a student.
Okay.
It all started with his family, his very first teachers.
It's really interesting that he then went on to attend a boarding school.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was seen as really prestigious in his village.
Wow.
It just goes to show how important education is in his community.
It represents a better future.
Exactly.
Not just for him, but for everyone.
Right.
So he had all these different kinds of schooling experiences, right?
Yeah.
He talks about excelling in rote learning during primary school.
Oh, I remember that. Just memorizing everything.
Yeah, memorization was key back then.
For sure.
But later on, Damar realized that memorization doesn't always mean you actually understand something.
Right, like you're going through the motions
Exactly.
without really getting it.
Then he went to a government school.
Hmm.
It sounds like he had different teaching styles, bigger classes.
Yeah, all that comes with government schools.
But he also got to experience a more flexible learning environment.
That's a good thing, though, right?
Yeah, I think so.
More flexibility.
But then there's this period where he went to India.
Oh, right, to study the Indian school certificate.
Yeah, and it didn't really go as planned.
No, it didn't.
He struggled with the language, felt homesick, and eventually decided to go back home.
Makes sense.
It really makes you think, about how important it is to find what you're truly passionate about.
Yeah, even if it means doing something different than what's expected.
And for Damar, it seems like going back home led him to his true passion.
Oh,
He discovered a love for English back in Mahendranagar.
interesting.
He ended up getting his bachelor's degree, then moved to Kathmandu for his master's in English literature.
Wow. And he graduated with first division honors.
He was a dedicated student.
He was. But it's funny, he actually thought about becoming a police officer at first.
What? Seriously?
Yeah, inspired by those Hindi movie heroes.
That's such a different path.
It does seem that way, doesn't it?
Totally different.
But maybe there's a connection there, you think?
Maybe.
Both professions, in a way, are about helping others, about protecting in different ways.
Yeah, that's true.
Just a good reminder that everyone, even educators, have these different interests.
Yeah, they might try different things before finding what they really love.
Right, exactly.
And for Damar, teaching became that thing. He loved it.
It seems like he got a lot of positive feedback from students and colleagues, too.
Oh, yeah. That definitely helped him know he was on the right path.
It's like that passion just transformed his career into something more, a calling.
I love that, a calling.
And that passion led him to always want to improve.
Makes sense.
He wanted to be a better teacher.
So he pursued further education in ELT, which is English language teaching. And he really embraced using new approaches like ICT.
ICT, that's information
Yeah.
and communication technology, right?
Exactly.
So using technology in the classroom.
Yeah, and his teaching journey began in 2009 at Darchula Multiple Campus.
Oh,
What I find so cool is how he was so proactive about using technology.
he really saw the potential in all these tools.
Like computer labs, laptops, projectors.
Even interactive smart boards.
All that.
He didn't just wait for someone to tell him how to use them.
No, he went out and got training.
Workshops, webinars, conferences.
A whole 9 yards.
Wow, he was really dedicated.
And he wasn't just doing it to keep up with the trends,
No, definitely not.
He really believed that technology could make learning better for his students.
That's so important, that belief in the power of technology.
And it's one thing to have the tools, but it's another to actually use them well.
To really integrate them into your teaching.
Yeah, and he did that.
He was a pioneer.
Especially where he was teaching.
Right, in his context.
He knew he needed to adapt to the changing world.
Help his students develop 21st century skills.
It's pretty inspiring.
It is.
Especially considering he faced some challenges along the way.
Oh, what kind of challenges?
Well, it sounds like the academic environment wasn't always the most supportive.
Oh, no.
He even mentions facing discrimination because of his political affiliations.
That's awful.
It is.
But he didn't give up.
No, he was really driven by his love for teaching and the support from everyone around him.
His family, friends, students. That says a lot about him.
It does. So after all that, he decided to go for his MPhil at Kathmandu University.
What a big decision.
It was. And Kathmandu University is known for being excellent in education.
That's right.
Damar got to learn from some of the best in the field.
Like Professors Jairaj Awasthi, Lavdeo Awasthi, Laxman Nawali.
Wow.
Just to name a few.
That's impressive.
It really is.
And it sounds like they weren't just teachers to him?
No, they became mentors.
They helped him grow and understand English language education even better.
Kathmandu University offered him more than just lectures and textbooks.
It sounds like it.
It was a whole community of learning.
A vibrant one.
With a focus on working together and hearing different perspectives.
You know, that kind of environment can really push you to think differently.
Oh, for sure.
And Damar thrived there.
He did. He really did.
Embraced new teaching strategies, started publishing his work, presenting at conferences.
Wow.
He even contributed to Nepal's education system.
So much growth.
His time at Kathmandu University was a real turning point for him.
It sounds like it.
A real transformation.
That's amazing. Yeah, a real transformation fueled by his father's legacy.
And his own passion.
It's just remarkable to see how far he's come.
From a young boy inspired by his dad to an educator making a real difference.
Speaking of growth.
Yeah.
Damar didn't actually stop at his MPhil.
He didn't.
No. He went on to get his PhD in TESOL.
Wow, so he just kept going.
Yeah. Always learning, always pushing himself.
That dedication to growth is really something else.
It is. Makes you think about our own lives, you know?
Like how we can always keep learning and expanding no matter what.
Exactly. It's a journey, not a destination.
And in a way, Damar's story has come full circle, don't you think?
How so?
Well, he's carrying on his father's legacy, empowering others through education.
Just like Kashi did for him.
It's like this ripple effect, you know?
Yeah, one person's passion can impact so many lives.
It's like that saying, teachers plant seeds that grow forever.
That's beautiful.
And Damar's story really shows how intertwined his personal experiences are with his professional growth.
You see it all there. His father, his education, the challenges, his love for teaching.
And that pioneering spirit with technology.
It all shaped him into the amazing educator he is today.
It really does make you think about how all our experiences, good and bad, contribute to who we become.
For sure.
But what I find really inspiring is his belief in technology.
He really embraced it.
He didn't just stick with the old ways. He looked for new ways to teach with ICT.
Even when it meant learning new skills and teaching others.
He was a true advocate for using technology in education.
We can all learn from that, no matter what we do. Technology is always changing. It's up to us to figure out how to use it to make things better.
Our work, our lives, the world.
It's exciting and challenging at the same time, wouldn't you say?
Definitely. And speaking of challenges, we have to acknowledge that technology isn't always perfect.
Right, like not everyone has access to the same technology.
That's a big issue, the digital divide.
It is. We have to make sure everyone has equal opportunities.
And even when people do have access, it's about using technology effectively.
It's not just about having the latest gadgets.
It's about actually integrating them into the curriculum in a way that makes sense.
So they really do improve the learning experience.
Finding that balance between the old ways and the new.
And being open to learning new skills as a teacher.
Damar's story really shows us how to do that.
He embraced the challenge and led the way.
His dedication to learning and using technology are such valuable lessons.
For everyone, not just educators.
Especially in a world that's constantly changing.
His journey also makes you think about the bigger picture of education.
In what way?
It's not just about knowledge, it's about critical thinking, being creative.
And using what you know to make a positive impact. Damar's story is so inspiring.
He is.
It makes me wonder, what about you? What parts of his journey resonate with you the most?
I think what stands out most is how his story really shows the connection between education and personal growth, and how that impacts society.
Yeah, it's like everything's connected.
Like a ripple effect, right?
His dad's dedication inspired him, and now Damar is inspiring his students.
And his colleagues.
And probably so many other people through his writing and his presentations.
Exactly.
It's a chain reaction of positive influence.
It really shows how education can empower people.
To make their own lives better and their communities too.
And it highlights how important it is to have those supportive learning environments.
Like Damar had at Kathmandu University.
Right, where people can really thrive and reach their full potential.
And speaking of Kathmandu University, his experience there really shows the impact of having good mentors.
Oh yeah, those experienced educators who guided him and shared their knowledge.
It made such a difference for him.
Mentorship is so valuable.
It really is.
Makes you think about the mentors in your own life, doesn't it?
It does. All those people who believed in us and challenged us and helped us grow.
We should appreciate them.
We should. And we should also think about how we can be mentors for others.
Yeah, share our own experiences and support the people around us.
We can all make a difference that way.
Absolutely. And, going back to Damar's story, I'm also struck by his belief in technology.
He really saw the potential in it.
He didn't just accept the traditional ways of doing things.
He actively looked for ways to use ICT in his classroom.
Even when it meant learning new things and training his colleagues.
He really was ahead of his time in that way.
He was a true advocate for innovation in education.
And he saw how technology could engage students and create better learning experiences.
And prepare them for the future.
That kind of thinking is what moves us forward in any field.
It's true. But of course, we can't just talk about the good stuff.
Right, we have to consider the challenges too.
Like we said before, not everyone has equal access to technology.
The digital divide is a real problem.
It is, and we need to find ways to bridge that gap.
And even when people do have access, it's not always easy to use technology effectively.
Exactly. You can't just throw a bunch of gadgets at students and expect them to learn.
It's about finding the right balance between old and new methods.
And making sure technology actually helps students learn.
And that requires teachers to be adaptable and open to new ideas.
Like Damar was.
He embraced the challenge and showed others the way forward.
His story is full of valuable lessons.
For everyone, not just teachers.
It's a reminder that education is always changing.
It's a dynamic process.
It's about growing, adapting, and innovating.
And it's something we can all be a part of.
No matter who we are or what we do,
there's always something new to learn.
A new skill to master, a new way to make a difference.
So, as we wrap up our deep dive into Damar Singh Saud's journey,
it has been inspiring.
I want to leave you with a question to think about.
Okay.
What inspires you to learn and grow? And what steps can you take to make a positive impact in your work, your community, the world?
Those are great questions to consider.
I encourage everyone listening to think about their own path and their own passions.
And how you can use what you know to make a difference.
Just like Damar has.
And if you're interested in learning more about Damar's story,
you should check out his autobiography,
Inspiration to Transformation, My Educational Odyssey.
It's a fascinating read.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been great exploring Damar's journey with you.
Until next time, keep learning,
keep growing,
and keep making a positive impact.
See you all next time.